Hello everybody, we are here to show you the promo from the next set of Alpha Class. That is the Ancient Alpha set. It's a big set. It continues the improvements that Alpha Class has been making. It's draft ready, which means, Zach, you can draft it.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And it also is the first set where they have done the 100% conversion to art from the comic books themselves, which I think is a really, really awesome kind of, forgive the business talk, market position to have, right? Where you're a trading card game that is literally pulling all of your art from a comic book series that you're also making that features the characters that you're seeing in the moments that you're seeing in the game, in the comics. They're linked together, and we see a good example of this with our promo too. But that is a thing that nobody is doing right now, as far as I know. And I think it's a really notable thing to be doing. So, Zach, should we just show the promo?
I think we should.
I'm looking at Doomcaster right here, who is featured on the card.
As a character, I feel like he speaks your language.
So let's see
a lot of things.
Let's see what we got. Now, one of the crazy things about a promo like this is you actually get to imagine what this might mean for the story if you're following along in the comic books, which for Doomcaster doesn't look to be particularly great.
So, Hunger Without End. 6 cost, 3 black pips. It's a basic action. So you play it, it resolves, and then the card goes to your Oblivion, also known as a discard pile. I'm just going to read it real quick and then get into it. And then I want to come back to Doomcaster.
And there's a new mechanic here, right?
There is. It's called Void.
Yeah.
Right. Which we'll get into that. So send target clash card you control to Oblivion. If you do, deal 6 damage to each clash card, then deal 4 damage to each contender.
Okay.
So we'll stop there for a second.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I want to compare this to Here Comes the Boom. It's classic, set 1. All the time you see this card, it's talked about. 4 cost does 5 damage to all clash cards on the board.
Oh, no, yeah, so this is still torqueable.
It's totally torqueable. Yeah, we torquing all day long. By torque, we mean the 1 cost torque that has been with us since the beginning. Anyways, so it costs 6, so it costs 2 more, but you're doing 6 damage instead of 5, like Here Comes the Boom. And that's really critical because 6 forever has been the I'm safe from Here Comes the Boom level. And like a lot of the big important characters happen at 6 or 7. Yeah. And 6 health specifically is like, there's very few clash cards in the game that would survive 6 damage. So this basically says, clear the board. Valor goes. But it has the bonus of then deal 4 damage to each contender. Now, is this each? So it's both?
Well, that could get you below your little special ability, though, for the first time, you know,
it could.
In all of Alpha Clash.
Yeah. You know, the Thrakor from the last set, his special ability, for some reason, is at 20? Crazy. Very good. Anywho, won't dive into that. So there is a restriction, though. It costs 6, which is more. It's also, you have to send a clash ground you control to Oblivion.
Yeah.
And so that is a condition. You can't just always play this, and you can't always play it on 6. You can't like play a clash ground and then play this immediately.
I mean, maybe you do the 1 drop and then the 6, so on turn 7 you could actually do that. And
a lot of times you get a clash ground out and it will stay out.
Yeah.
But you're losing your own clash ground, which is not typically ideal. But I think this is like, that is a very powerful effect that is potentially a game ender. Clear the board. If you do have a torque on the table, he gets +6, and also you're doing 4 direct with their contender. I mean, it's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage,
yeah. But wait, there's more to assess this card. The next one is this Void keyword, which I will talk about in a second. But Void, etc. Your contender gains X health, where X is equal to the number of clash cards that left play this turn.
Okay.
So Void means when this card is banished, doesn't matter how it gets banished, where it's from.
And that means it's just out of the game.
Yeah,
You're
so
out of the ballpark.
Oblivion is your discard pile.
Yeah.
The banish zone is the out of play, it's just hidden over here, gone. And their cards will be like banish a card from the discard pile. Or the Oblivion stack pile. There's a from Oblivion is what they would say. So a lot of times like Krung, he has cards that allow him to play cards from discard pile, or Cadavros, which is a cool character that did really well at Nashville, which is the recent Pro Tour, can cycle characters back. But if you banish the characters from the discard pile, they're gone.
Now, here's the essential question, though. With your experience in card games and card game designers, how long does the banish zone remain only out of play and you can't ever access it again?
not very long.
It's never very long. Then as they bring a card for the Banish Zone, Jonathan, it happens every time. They set 8. It's like,
Here's why, though. And I think I don't know. I actually don't know. It could be that forever the Banish Zone is just like blanked out, gone.
Yeah.
But in the story, so what's happening to our friend Doomcaster here, as far as I can tell, is he's being consumed by the Void. So the Void,
hungry, I guess?
This is you've seen the spoiler for the set. Now we're gonna story spoiler. So if you haven't read the comics and you don't want to be spoiled, now's the time to leave, unfortunately.
And go buy them.
Definitely buy the comics. They're amazing, and it's just insane. I can't believe Rich and Garrett and the team are doing this, and they're doing it on like a different level.
Pretty crazy.
But I want to show this. This is towards the end of the second issue of the comics, and this right here is my friend the Void.
Oh, it's literally the Void.
He is like an amazing character. I cannot wait to see what happens. But essentially, there's this consciousness that gets tapped into by early in the story by Kefrius, and he like awakens and he realizes he's now an entity. And so the main character of the comics here, Clarity and/or Death, depending on how you want to reference it.
Depending on how much you've read.
Yeah, she has one of her things that she can do is she can get into people's minds, but she has to touch them. And so what she'll do a lot of times to disable someone is like get in their brain and mess them up or free them, you know, from, there's all sorts of things she does to people.
She's like a therapist.
It's kind of in a certain, if you squint and turn sideways. But effectively she's engaging with the Void, who's this like really terrifying, you can see in this picture here, this character tries to spear the Void and the spear melts. And it's just like this.
You can't spear the Void. I could have told you that.
It's this weird thing where like it's got consciousness, but it doesn't even know what it is or how it functions itself. And so
like me,
when it touches things, it is consuming them and sending them seemingly to banish. The Banish
It's
Zone.
kind of like a black hole. In that
it's
way.
literally, yeah. But it's almost like a dog trying to play with you that doesn't know that it's dangerous to you or that kind of a thing.
Like a dog that, if touching you, would send you into
picture a dog
the void of time.
Wakes
and
up,
space.
and then it's like if it touches you, you disappear.
Okay.
And it just wants to play. You know what I mean? So, anyways, towards the end of this issue, she basically touches the Void. So instead of blinking out of existence, she gets in his brain, which is what you can see.
Or whatever
here.
the Void has.
Yeah, whatever
brain,
you call that. You can see on the inside. That's his eyes on the inside. Right?
Wow.
And it's crazy.
Literally in there.
Literally
like
in
not
there.
even figuratively. That's like
she's
in the Magic School Bus style.
Yeah, and anyways, we don't know where that's going yet. But
find out in issue number 3.
I'm very excited. It truly issue 3 should be coming out relatively soon. But don't know where it's going. So if we can pull that card back up. Doomcaster is a super cool character. He might be very friendly with Clarity. And so this is, I don't know what happens in the story, but you were right in that it's really cool. This is starting to tease to me what is going to happen.
So Void being when you banish something. So is there anything that, so this would be like you play this card, a lot of stuff goes to the thing. If you can immediately banish it, then that would be good.
So like hypothetically, and I don't honestly know yet, I'm assuming we will get a Void character either in this set or the next set at some point in the comics and what's going on here.
Like actually a Void like contender.
Yes.
The Void.
He's got to be playable. Like there's just no way.
Or is it a boss in the PvE stuff?
Yeah, that also probably should happen.
I guess they can
sure.
do both.
But so I'm going to guess we have a contender that is the Void, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Void had a way to send cards to banish.
That would be...
It's like exhaust, and if you're at a certain health total, you can just... So you could play this, clear the board, then send it straight to the Void and gain... Like if 5 cards leave play, you gain 5 life.
Now, does the Void have this hunger? You know what I mean? Because that's unlike our friendly neighborhood dog that doesn't know the disappearing people. This is like I'm actively hungry for seemingly Doomcaster.
Well, I don't fully know. I will say that so one of the coolest things that Alpha Clash does they do the comics, etc., but they have these event cards. And so they just had the Pro Tour in Nashville a couple weeks ago. And the event card was Hunger of the Void. And so I'm assuming it's almost like he's gaining more consciousness the more he engages with people and the more he consumes. And so I don't fully understand it yet. But everything about him keeps having this hunger word, and so it's this consuming, almost black hole was a good description of it.
That makes Alpha Clash preview season really fascinating, especially if you're previewing cards before the comic has released, and then you're actually getting little story bits too. That's really cool, guys.
Yeah, well, and you can imagine, let's say, like on the cover of the first issue here is Entropy. Cool character. They spoiled him in Nashville, actually. Wild. Side note, it's like 40 health. He's in this set, so it's good to talk about. So he's 40 health. He's colorless. And then I forget the keyword that he has, but basically he can play, he plays his resources face down and doesn't have threshold.
Whoa.
But he can't run more than one copy of anything that's not colorless.
Oh, man.
And every time he plays something, I think he takes, and this is just all from memory and it's been a minute, but he takes damage equal to the pips.
That's so good.
So it's like 3 red.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Good.
Anyways,
he's gonna be really good.
And he's a really cool character in the story as well. But point of it is, hypothetically, let's say, and I don't know. Issue 5, he dies. And he's like your favorite character in the game. And it's like, oh, we're not getting any more cards. Like he's out of the story. They don't have art to put him on. Like, wow, this is just the end of this character, right? Or if your favorite character shows up, suddenly, oh, we're going to be getting a bunch of cards with so-and-so on it because they got to pull the art from something. Yeah, which is really cool.
That is good to tie like that. So you went to, speaking of competitive Alpha Clash, you went to Nashville, right?
I did.
You and Ian went to Nashville. How was that?
It was great, man. They had ClashCon towards the end of last year. And since then, they have changed so much. So they introduced the event cards, which is game-altering, in-play all weekend, every game card.
Figured out how to make a living card game.
Yeah, it's actually astounding because
listen up, Andrew.
No matter what the meta is, or no matter when the most recent release is, it keeps the game completely in a different state. In fact, we already know the event card for the next event. And we don't have the details on the event yet, but I'm assuming it'll be after this comes out. And this card that we have is cool because the event card incentivizes you to have a Clash ground out, both players. And so now it's
like when you play one, you draw a card or something.
That's literally exactly what happens. Yes, the man's a genius.
He's been around the block.
It does other stuff too, but anywho, that's one of the things it does. So they did the event cards. They also have bounties, which is one of my favorite things has ever happened.
I don't know why everyone's not doing this.
So they essentially identify there's 5 colors and a contender for each color, that the top performing player of that contender gets a... Actually, you know what?
Well, you got, since you asked.
Yeah, so gets a card like this, which is in these cool cases that they make. But...
is that graded?
No, it's just like a custom.
I thought it said PSA.
No, it's a USA.
Great. I love those cases. It reminds me of my youth.
It's full art. It's technically legal to play. It's got the title up here of whatever the card is,
really
featuring
awesome,
the character.
Actually.
And usually, like right now, they have big tournaments in the United States. And the Philippines. And so... like this card, there were only 2 of.
Man, and putting the full art in the background of that,
cool.
It's so good, actually. This is actually like a very cool prize.
Yeah, and so what they did in Nashville, actually, which I am a little bit jealous of,
love this,
is that the Nashville bounty prize cards were actually the contender themselves. So you could play it without shuffling it in your deck. I mean, you could leave it in the case, or even just like not having to shuffle.
This looks so good.
It is.
Actually, I've not taken a chance to look at this.
Take that in. Yeah,
this looks great.
Well, when they announced Death was a bounty, it was Death's like my favorite character in the game before the story. Wow. And they announced this bounty, and the problem was that she was actually a viable character to play. So it's not just like, my friend Merrick played Cowling at this last event. So it was a fun story. 2 events ago, Cowling was a bounty, and no one played him in Des Moines.
No wonder I was so attracted to that.
So the bounty carries over to the next event. So then there were technically 6 bounties going to this event. And so he played Cowling, and he was the only player playing Cowling at the Pro Tour.
Nice.
So he automatically just wins the bounty, which I think was like $100 or something, but then you get this is the main reason that you're doing it.
That's really awesome.
But what it does, the event card plus that makes the like variety of the event like so much higher. And it also, honestly, it disincentivizes what I would consider like spike players, which is really grindy, solve the meta. I've played 1,000 repetitions. I know exactly how this is going to go, people, because the game shifts so much every time. And then you have different people playing on different, parallels. Basically, it's like Hamilton's playing to win. Everyone else is playing to get second. That's serious. And then there's 10 to 20 people playing bounties. Like I played a guy on Alpha Aster because he was trying to get the bounty for his friend who couldn't make it to the event but loved Alpha Aster, Mike. And we're playing, and it's like he's playing on a different plane than I am. Like I wasn't even playing for a bounty. I was just playing Torque.
Yeah, like you can't even metagame the decks in the same way that you can, because sometimes there's the wild card Cowling that happens to just absolutely destroy whatever you're doing that works against these other things that normally no one would ever play. But 100%. Now it's like, well, now I got to honor this.
Well, in the very first event they had the bounties, 40% of the decks were bounty decks.
Wow.
So it's like almost half the field are playing characters they probably 0% chance would have played.
Yeah.
Had they not existed, which fundamentally changes the whole event. Yeah. So then this event, it was really, you had that going on, which is cool, compared to last year's, where you don't have bounties, you don't have an event card. It was definitely like a little more intense last year. And so this is already disarming a little bit. But then they also had, it was 4 rounds of constructed into 3 rounds of draft. Nice. And it was the first time because Echo was the first set that you could draft, which also is changing the entire paradigm of the event and what is going on. So it was a blast. And then it was crazy. The top 8, Hamilton won. Spoiler. Yeah. I love watching Hamilton win events.
Yeah. As it's just you're watching.
I actually do.
But you're watching behind him and you're like, I do it this way. And then he doesn't do it that way. And then you're like, why? And then you're like, oh. And then he wins.
Yeah. Yeah, but there were 3 different bounty characters in the top 8.
Wow. Was Ian one of them?
Ian was one of them.
With Weber, right?
He's playing Weber. He was my top 8 opponent, actually.
Nice. He almost beat you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so it's best of 3.
No.
In the top 8, it's best of 3, and I won both the first 2 games. But the turn that I defeated him, if I don't, he would have beaten me on the next turn. So like, it's close in a way. A lot of games will do that where it's like
Death's Door.
You're technically 1 away, but also part of why you're 1 away is your opponent did moves to finish you that put them in a position where you could, it's like that's the chance you're taking.
They took a lot of damage because they knew that they had the death blow, so they wouldn't have been close if they hadn't.
Yeah, it's like
that was in Fab a lot too.
Yeah, right? I think in sports this happens. It's like you go for the big play as a onside kick as a football team, and you miss, you lose, and if you get it, you have a chance. Anyways.
Or it's even like, another good football analogy, like when you play a really deep prevent defense to prevent them from scoring, so they rack up a bunch of yards.
Yeah.
But then you look at the stats at the end of the game, and it's like, oh, they had the same yardage, but one of them actually is a lot ahead.
And exactly. Yeah. And sometimes,
as we've always said, the regular John Madden and Pat Summer all over here, ready to get
give them the Heisman. Anywho, it was really fun. I think the Alpha Clash is an interesting. There's a lot of things they're doing that are now very unique, especially compared to last year. Like last year, I felt like they were still finding themselves. As weird as that is,
are they blossoming like a flower at this point?
The
Mark Wade series,
that's coming up. I think that's a big deal. I think they're definitely finding their groove. Like last year, I remember talking to Ridge at ClashCon 2024, and there was a lot of not quite sure who this is for. Like, are you trying to have Pro Tour, like Fab level Pro Tour OP? Are you trying to like be very casual and easygoing? And you're making decisions where it's like the event cards. The event cards are the kind of card they inject so much uncertainty and change. And if you design that just a little bit wrong, you could totally like skew. You might have everyone on literally the same deck or something like that. And we almost had that in Des Moines with Krung.
Yeah.
Like 5 of the top 8 is Krung. I think it was like a little tweak that direction. But that is the kind of thing that I picture Fab doing, and it would not work at all.
Yeah, no.
Like that is, you can't have a game come down to there's $100,000 on the line.
Right.
And that's going on.
It just doesn't.
I don't think it, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it really works. So they're really leaning into that. The fact that they're indie, they're super flexible, and they can do these event cards, and they can change things rapidly. They're doing the comic books now and pulling from the story, and like it's clear talking to them, they want the events to be competitive, but not over it being enjoyable and fun.
Not spiky.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really great as someone who has a kid and can't basically have a second job playing Fab and competing at that to still watch Michael Hamilton win tournaments, regardless of how much time goes into it. To have a game like this where you can show up and you can compete. Like at some point we're at the event, Matt, my longtime card game friend, came up after like round 3 or 4, and he's like, "Man, this is just so fun." Like, and it's hard to even express. I've been to a lot of tournaments, and it's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's good.
It is. Again, when you just sit across someone and they're playing Cao Ling, and it's like,
I'm just here for the bounty, man.
I respect it. You know, it's like I fundamentally respect what you've got going on here, and it's cool. It creates a lot of winners, I think, and you can win by winning the tournament if you're Hamilton. You can win by enjoying yourself if you're anybody else. And the draft was super fun, and the vibe was cool. They also did the PVE event on Friday, and just lots of laughter constantly was happening. So
that's not what games are about, Zach. Anyway, if you want to get this promo and keep supporting the Alpha Class trading card game, there's a couple of things you can do. The first thing you can do is you can go pre-order Ancient Alphas on our website. Any box that is pre-ordered through our website will have the promo with it. So 1 box, 1 promo, 2 boxes, 2 promos, 8 boxes, 8 promos. You know how it goes.
But what about 12 boxes?
And 12 boxes will be, in fact, 12 promos.
It is important to note, they also changed with the last set. This is like a subtle thing. Cases are now boxes of 4 instead of 12.
Right on.
And they include case toppers, which is the full art cards.
Oh, yeah.
In each case. So a lot more people are getting case toppers.
So like the 4 boxes is like a great.
Yeah, 4 boxes is like a play set of that promo. You also get a box topper. You also get 4 booster boxes.
Yeah, 4 boxes is where it's at.
Yeah, it's a good spot. And again, if you haven't checked out the comics, I highly recommend it. I don't have a lot of history being a comic book person, but I really enjoyed these. And if you're into this game at all or curious, I think these are. It's crazy. It is so hard to make an indie card game, and it is so hard to be a comic book publisher.
It's like running an LGS in a restaurant at the same time.
And for some crazy reason, these mad lads are doing both, and it's working. It's really cool, and it's cool to watch them evolve. And I'm super excited about the future.
It's also worth noting that if you buy the booster boxes, the Ancient Alpha booster box, or the latest issue of the comic book, you'll be offered the chance to subscribe whenever you go through checkout. So then you can automate that process and just say, like, I want 4 boxes of Alpha Clash moving forward, and we will create those pre-orders for you as those sets are announced. Same with the comic books. And then you can also do that from your account as well, if you'd rather. You can do it there. So anything else, Zach? I think we've done it.
I think that's it. There's going to be a full spoiler season happening, so check into Alpha Clash if you want to follow along, and then I'm sure we'll be back towards the end of the preview season to check it out, maybe get some sealed games in.
Sounds good, man. We'll see you then.